Did you know that that clip was generated completely free, no subscription, using just a text prompt? In this video, I'll go over 5 different AI generating video tools to find the best one, and here's everything you need to know. Before we get into the video, quick intro. My name is Frank Bashard. I'm 18 years old and I'm trying to build a business around AI. I'm not a guru and I'm definitely not someone who's trying to sell your course. I'm just someone who's obsessed with this space and I test out everything so that you don't have to. This channel is just everything I share that I find, and let's get right into the video. So today we will be going over 5 different AI video generating tools, and if they're actually worth your time. We will be discussing how good their free tiers actually are, the quality of the videos generated, how long it takes to generate a video, limits, and in general how good it actually is. Also, to make this a fair test, we are going to be using the same text prompt across all 5 tools. So stick around and find out which tool is actually worth your time. At number 1, we have Kling AI. Alright, perfect. So here we are in Kling AI, and we are just quickly gonna head over to generate so that we can generate our video. And this is the new model, video 3.0. So yeah, it has enhanced native audio, improved element consistency, and support for multi-shot storytelling. So that's pretty cool. And what's really cool about it as well is that you can use this even though you're in the free tier, so you don't actually have to pay to use this model. And obviously the multi-shot storytelling, that's basically where you can use the same characters, same environments, and add them into different scenes. But anyways, let's get into our prompt. All right, perfect. So here we have a prompt, and basically what it's going to be is that it's going to be set of a Roman colosseum at golden hour, filled with spectators, with all the fine details such as dust, torches, all of that good stuff. So we have actually 3 trials with Kling AI for 1080p resolution. So that's pretty neat. You can get down the free tier. And then the video length is going to be 5 seconds. Also, if you didn't notice, we actually get 66 credits when we're first starting out. So yeah, that is a limit. One video with 1080p resolution, about 5 seconds long, and then you might have to buy credits and buy a subscription. But yeah, that's something to keep in mind. Another thing that I like to mention is that Kling AI does not offer daily or monthly credits, so you do have to get a subscription or buy credits to actually generate more videos. And considering that you use up all your credits if you make a 5-second video at 1080p resolution, it's not really the best if you want to go in terms of free. All right, let's create a video which is going to cost us 60 credits. And we're also going to time how long it takes to generate the video. All right, just like that, it was generated in 1 minute 31 seconds. And let's take a look at the video. So as you guys can see, you can only generate one video at 1080p after 5 seconds with Kling AI, and you also do get a watermark. However, the generation speed wasn't that bad at 1 minute 31 seconds, and the prompt accuracy was actually pretty good, so I'll give that a 4. The output quality was actually really insane, as it also included audio, so I'll give that a 4.5. And in terms of ease to use, it's really easy for beginners to use. The UI is very nicely laid out, so I'll give that a 4.5 as well. However, you do not get daily or monthly credits, and you do have to buy a subscription or buy credits. So overall, it gets a 3. At number 2, we have Luma AI. Alright guys, here we are with Luma AI, and honestly the interface is much more simpler compared to Kling AI, so perhaps it could be easier for beginners if they're starting out to get used to the whole UI, but I think it's pretty simple and basic. And also we can check how many credits we have. If we go over here, click manage team, and then we get 20 credits. I don't know why I have 20 credits used. I didn't generate any videos, but we do get 3,000 free credits, which is pretty nice. So now we're gonna go generate a video and see how many credits it actually uses and if the video is actually any good. Also, instead of just pasting my prompt over here, I'm going to be scrolling down all the way down here to where it says boards. And the reason I'm doing this is because you have much more control over what type of video you're going to generate, what model you're using, the resolution, how long the video is. So it's just so much better. All right guys, here we are, and now I'm going to quickly just go down over here, click generate video. And before I actually do anything, I'd like to say that there are a few models that you can use, including Kling, and we are going to test how much credits Kling actually uses, and we're going to see if maybe perhaps you could use Kling over here rather than the actual Kling website. But first we're going to use Ray 3.14 HDR and see how much credits that uses and how long it takes to generate. and see how good the video actually is. All right, perfect. So here, as you can see, we just gave it the same prompt. And another thing that's really cool is that you can add a start frame and an end frame. And basically what it is, you can just give it context and give it a photo or an image, and it turns it into an actual video, and it's really cool. All right, perfect. We're gonna click create. By the way, this is still going and this is just crazy. All right, I'd like to add that it's been going for 22 minutes and it still hasn't generated anything. I'm probably just gonna stop this test and try a different model, see how that goes. All right, perfect. So this time we are using Ray 3.14. We got the same prompt, 16:9 display ratio, 1080p resolution, and 5 seconds. So we're gonna restart the timer and see how long it takes to generate. Alright, here's the crazy thing. It's been 8 minutes and 35 seconds and I had to bring it to a pause because it was still generating and it's not going to generate anytime soon. To my knowledge, the reason behind this is because we're on a free tier and we're in what's called a wait list or a queue, and it's going to take ages to actually generate a video. However, paid users don't experience this. For the first model, Ray 3.14 HDR, had to wait over 20 minutes, and this model I've had to wait over 8 minutes, and I just think it's not worth it, so we're just gonna have to skip this one and go on to the third one. Alright guys, so I tried Luma, typed in a prompt just like usual, just like how I did with Kling AI, hit generate, and I'm not even exaggerating, it took well over 30 minutes and it still didn't generate a clip. For a free tool, that's just not practical. So I'm giving it a 0 for that reason alone. If you can't generate a video clip in a reasonable amount of time, what even is the point? At number 3, we have Google Flow. Alright guys, here we are in Google Flow, and I'd just like to add that I really like the UI. It's really basic, straightforward, very beginner friendly. So yeah, I really like it. So let's click on new project and it leads us to this page. And before we carry on, I just want to say that we do get 150 free credits. So if we go over and click our email icon, we can see 150 AI credits, and it does refresh daily, so that is really good. So you don't even have to get a subscription, you can just wait daily for your credits to refresh, and that's pretty nice. I really like that. So anyways, we're going to generate a video real quick. We are going to use 16:9 aspect ratio, which is mostly used for YouTube videos. You can use 9:16, which is used for Instagram, TikTok, YouTube shorts. And so we are also going to generate one video, and then we're going to go VO 3.1 quality, and that alone will use 100 credits. However, if we do go over to VO 3.1 fast, that will only use 20 credits. But we're just going to go with quality and see how that does. And here you can also add the images start to end to give it some context, which is really nice. So it does image to video. All right, perfect. Here's our prompt, and here we have the timer, and we're going to click generate in 3, 2, 1, and we're going to see how long it actually takes to generate the video. All right guys, so Google Viewer generated this video in 1 minute and 9 seconds compared to Kling AI where it generated it in 1 minute and 31 seconds. So let's go over and watch the clip and see how good it actually is. I would also like to add that this video is actually 720p, and if you do want to upscale it to 1080p or 4K, you do need a subscription. I wouldn't really recommend it because you get daily credits every single day, and really if you're using VO 3.1 fast, you're only really using 20 credits a day, so that's pretty good. We are actually going to try out the VO 3.1 fast and see how it is and how it actually does. So let's get right into it and see how long it actually takes to generate as well with the same prompt. Alright, perfect. So the VO 3.1 fast actually took around the same time to generate as the VO 3.1 quality, so that's actually pretty good. I really like that. So let's go ahead and see if the video is actually any good. Alright, so those were the two videos, and instead of being 5 seconds long, they were actually 8 seconds long, so that's pretty neat. However, the resolutions of the videos is capped at 720p compared to 1080p and 4K, which you do need to pay for to actually upscale to those resolutions. You do also get a watermark. Honestly, VO 3.1 quality and VO 3.1 fast are actually very similar. The only difference is that VO 3.1 quality would perhaps offer a bit more attention to detail and characters that actually move. But considering that you can generate a total of 1 quality video and 2 fast videos with 150 credits refreshed every single day, that is very good. Not to mention that the video also gives audio, and the quality is actually really good, so I give that a 4.5. In terms of ease to use, it's actually very beginner friendly and not intimidating at all, so I give that a 5. The prompt accuracy is also very good, which makes me rate it a 5 as well. In terms of generation speed, it actually shocked me of how well it performed at 1 minute and 8 seconds, and it did perform better than Kling AI. Overall, Veo from Google Flow gets a rating of 5 from me. At number 4, we have One AI. Alright guys, here we are in One AI, and we are just going to quickly go and click over to try now. And as you can see, it brings us to this UI, which is pretty nice. And here's the explore page where you can see other users using One AI that created images or videos. And it's pretty neat because you can get inspiration of what you could create as well. And then we can head over to generate, canvas, project, assets and favorites. But we are gonna go over and head to generate real quick. And I'd also like to add that you do get credits if you log in daily into One, and it can range from anywhere to 10 to 50 credits. As you can see, I got 10 credits, so that is pretty neat. We can also check our different models. So there's One 2.6, there's One 2.5 preview, One 2.2, One 2.1. Each of these models does do different things. So as you can see here, One 2.6 creates storyboards and stories, and then this one creates audio generation with frame sync and film like quality, delicate motion, etc, etc. You get the point. We are gonna go ahead and stay with One 2.6, and here as you can see, the resolution is capped at 720p, and you do need VIP for 1080p. The aspect ratio we're gonna keep to 16:9. And the videos are also capped at 5 seconds, and you do need VIP for 10 seconds and 15 seconds. And here we have an option to generate with credits, where you can choose to generate with your credits. And basically what that does is during peak hours, it skips you ahead of the queue and you can generate videos much faster. Or if you're not in peak hours, you can turn this option off and it won't use your credits, but it may take a bit longer during peak hours to actually generate a video. But we are going to go ahead and enable generate with credits, and we're going to keep enhance prompt on, and you guys can add your own audio as well. However, I'm not going to do that, and we are just going to click generate, and it will use all 10 of our credits. So let's go ahead and see how long it actually takes to generate as well. All right, perfect. Let's generate and start the timer. Alright, so as you guys can see, it did beat Google Veo in terms of generation speed. It generated in 54 seconds, which is actually very nice and very fast. So we are going to go ahead and quickly watch the video and see how good it actually is. So as you guys can see, that video is actually pretty neat. The attention to details are actually very nice, and I like how the camera starts descending to the gladiators. That's pretty neat. And another thing that I like to add is I did queue another creation, and it has been around 5 to 10 minutes and it's still creating it. I did it using One 2.5, and I just wanted to showcase that if you generate without credits, you are going to be in the queue for quite a while, and it is going to take time to actually generate a video. So if your goal is to generate a lot of videos fast, One would probably not be a good option during peak hours. I don't know if it's peak hours right now, but here another thing that's really cool is you can store other people, for example Ewan, Rowan and Gyanyu, and if we choose these people, we can describe a visual or a scenery or environment, and what it does, it creates a video using these 3 people, which is pretty neat. And you can also generate images, which is really nice, and you can also create your own avatars, so you can upload images of or characters of real people, animals, and you can turn them into actual characters that will talk. So that is pretty neat. So as you guys saw, the free tier of One actually offers videos at a max resolution of 720p, and you do have to pay a VIP subscription to actually unlock the full 1080p resolution. So that is something to keep in mind. And the free videos do actually have watermarks, so that's another thing to keep in mind. And the videos are capped at 5 seconds long. The output quality is actually in general pretty nice, so I rate it a 4.5. The video did generate much faster than Kling AI and Google Veo at an impressive 54 seconds, so that is pretty fast. The prompt accuracy was actually really accurate and on point, so that gets a 5 from me. In terms of ease to use, it is pretty easy. However, it can get confusing at times, especially for beginners, so I'd give it a 3 as well. You do get free daily credits ranging from 10 to 50 credits. Considering that generating one video takes up all your credits, it's not really worth it in my opinion, and if you are trying to generate a video with 0 credits, you are gonna have to wait ahead in a queue, and that can take a pretty long while. So in general, I just don't think it's really worth it. So One overall gets a 3 from me. At number 5, we have Pixverse. Alright guys, here we are in Pixverse, and as you can see, the UI is very similar to one. So here we are on the home page and we can explore all these different things that were made, and I'm pretty sure these are templates which we can actually copy, so that is pretty neat. And then when you do make your account, you do get 93 credits, which is pretty nice as well. And then after you use all your credits, you do get a daily refresh, so yeah, you get 60 daily credits, which is pretty nice. And then if we actually want to create something, we just click on over here, and then we already have video selected, and here we can select the resolution as well. And as you can see, 720p and 1080p, we get only 3 free trials, so we can only generate a max of 6 videos in total with 720p and 1080p. However, with 540p and 360p, we don't actually need any free trials. Obviously, if you select 360p, it is going to cost 25 credits to create a video. 520p is going to be 38, 720p is going to be 50 credits, and 1080p is going to be 100 credits. However, we don't even have enough credits to generate for 1080p, so we're just going to stick with 720p and see how that is. And with the aspect ratio, we're going to select 16:9, and the video is going to be 5 seconds long. Let's see if we can make the video 8 seconds long. That would be 80 credits. And if we select 9 seconds, it's going to take 90 credits. Alright, so we're just going to paste the prompt. Also, if you turn off audio, it uses less credits. It uses 72 compared to 90 with audio. What about multi-shot? No, multi-shot doesn't do anything. Alright, perfect. Let's go on to create and see how long it actually takes to create this video with Pixverse. Alright, perfect. So the video took 1 minute and 38 seconds to generate. So let's go ahead and take a look at the video and see how good it actually is. Alright, so as you guys can see, that was a video. Honestly, the audio quality wasn't the best, and I don't know what happened at the end where it just pointed at the wall, as you guys can see over here. We can upscale the video, but that will obviously cost us credits, and then we can edit the sound, modify everything. But honestly, it's not really the best. So let's get straight into rating and comparing all the tools and seeing which one is actually the best, and in my opinion, which one you should use to actually save your time. So as you guys saw, Pixverse was actually offering 720p and 1080p resolutions for 3 trials, so in total you can only generate 6 videos with 720p and 1080p resolution, and the normal default ones are 360p and 540p for the free tier. In terms of video length, you can generate a video of 720p resolution up to 9 seconds long, and that uses up all your 90 credits which you get given when you make your account. However, you do get daily 60 credits, and to be fair, the generation speed is actually not that bad at all. It's actually around the same time as Kling AI's. The prompt accuracy was actually decent. I did like the setting and I like how everything played out, but I don't know what happened at the end where it just pointed at the wall, so I would rate it a 3. In terms of output quality, you don't really get much of a choice when you run out of 720p and 1080p. You can only generate videos at 360p and 540p. Also, not to mention that the audio quality was actually pretty bad, and that I feel like it ruined the immersion. So I would rate it 2.5 in terms of quality output. The UI is actually not that hard to use, and I'd say ease of use is actually pretty straightforward. So I would rate that a 4. But overall, I give Pixverse a 2.5, and I just don't think it's worth your time. So my overall winner actually depends on who you are and what you're actually using the tool for. So if you're just a content creator and trying to produce quick clips at a good amount of speed and quality, I would recommend Google Flow and using VO 3.1 fast. You could also use VO 3.1 quality if you're looking for the best output quality. I also feel like Google Flow actually offers some good offers if you're trying to look into or buy a paid subscription. But another second option, if let's say you're a business trying to look for the best quality output possible, would be Kling AI, but you do have to pay a heftier price, and it just really depends on how much money you're willing to pay and what your budget is. But in my honest opinion, Google Flow wins. Anyways, that's it for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want to see more videos like this, leave a like and subscribe. And if you're a business trying to integrate AI into their business, I'll leave my email down in the description and you guys can reach out to me. Anyways, that's it for today, guys. Bye bye.